Hi dancers, welcome back to my channel. I'm Claudia Dean and I'm so excited to be filming with you all today. We're doing an awesome Q&A which I asked you all to ask me questions back in January. And I still haven't filmed this yet because I've been so busy, and hopefully you'll know the reasons why when I answer some of these questions. But I'm glad I'm finally doing it today. So I think we just get straight into it. Once you subscribe to my channel, hit the little bell and like this video if you enjoy Q&As. I think Q&As are fun because you sort of get to know the YouTuber more and you get to know sort of, I guess, their personality and what they go for in life. So I think it's really good Q&As. The first question is Katie Lana, and she's asked me, any tips for all your general success? You and I are close to the same age. Seeing all you've accomplished this far is beyond inspiring. Any tips? Thanks very much, Katie. So I mean, it's really hard, like with success, like what even is success? To me, I don't feel like I've succeeded yet because there's so many things that I want to do. Like I can realize and I can acknowledge the fact that, yeah, maybe I have done a lot for my age, but I don't see it as that either because I know there's so many other things that I want to do and I won't probably feel like I've succeeded until I've done them. I mean, so it's hard for me to answer, but at the same time, I would say for me to acknowledge the things that I've done this far and say, yes, okay, Claudia, like I'm proud of you, you've done those things. I would say it's because I've completely just followed what I'm passionate about, honestly. Like that is all I do on a day-to-day basis. I started my business around private lessons because I was so passionate about private lessons. Then I started to create leotards because I was so passionate about creating the right leotards for the right dancers. Then I started class with Claudia because I was passionate about teaching dancers from all around the world my techniques. Then I started YouTube because I wanted to, again, share my techniques with all of you around the world. So it sort of comes from within because I know that there's so much I want to share with you all. And probably at the end of this video as well, I think someone asks me, what are my goals? And I'll sort of give you something else that I'm working on at the moment currently to make happen for you all. But I'm honestly just always trying to just follow what I'm passionate about, and I feel like that's where and how you can get ahead and in front is just by doing what you genuinely believe in, because there's a lot of people out there that do things that aren't genuine, but then I feel like that it doesn't ever really go anywhere because they're not truly passionate about it. Like I spend every single hour of my life, other than when I'm sleeping, I literally spend it on my business, and I invest time, money, I invest so much into my business because it's what I'm passionate about. So that'd probably be my biggest bit of advice, is to find what you're truly passionate about and follow it. Okay. So the next question is from Sadie York Rutherford. Sorry if I pronounced it wrong. But what is your favorite day of the week and why? I think definitely Saturday, because I still work on a Saturday, but it's the day before Sunday where I get to have a day off with my partner, with my dogs, and just be a normal person. So I'd probably say Saturday. So this question is from Sani.Stinner. How to know what kind of goals to set and how to achieve them. So I'll answer the first part of it, how to know what kind of goals to set. And that is to be realistic with yourself. Don't set goals that you know aren't achievable because it's only going to get yourself down. So you're better off setting goals that are like small little milestones first and achieving those, and then you can aim higher. That's sort of what I do on a day-to-day basis. I set myself really small goals and then I set myself the really big goals, but I can only get to those big goals if I do the small ones. So I would say that. Then how to achieve them. Once again, I feel like if you've set yourself realistic goals to achieve the big goals, then it's a very easy stepping stone. That would probably be my first bit of advice, but the second bit I would say is hard work. Lately, I've kind of realized that a lot of people that know how to work hard, but I think there's like working hard and then there's really working hard. Kind of like how I answered that previous question, the first question I got asked was, you know, how do you accomplish so much? It's because I literally spend every breathing moment on growing everything. So I guess all this doesn't come from just me sitting around having a holiday. Like I have to work seriously hard, and in fact probably one of my downfalls is I actually do work too hard. I actually see people about that because I know that it's probably one of my downfalls. I invest so much time into people and into what I have that it actually can be a downfall. So I think like working hard sometimes might not be enough. You almost have to like devote yourself, and that's why it's really important you love what you do and you're passionate about what you do, because if you are, then you're most likely going to work harder in that field. So that's probably what I'd say about goals and goal setting. Next question. What made you start Collections by Claudia? Much love. And that's from Natasha.Kitson. So for me, starting Collections by Claudia was because I know dancers really wanted high cut leotards and leotards that were super flattering for auditions and just for classes, and I'd heard through the grapevine that a lot of people weren't happy with leg lines and etc. So all the features on my leotards basically have that, and that's the reason why I started it. Then now we're going to be releasing about 4 collections a year. We're soon to be launching a new collection very soon, and it is going to be amazing. I just know it. I started it because I'm, again, genuinely passionate about providing leotards that dancers can wear and can love and feel confident in. So that was one of my goals last year, and I was so proud of myself that I achieved it, because for me it was like a very long shot goal. Like I kind of said, yeah, I want to make leotards, but I knew there was so much that I had to put into it to make that actually come to life, and I'm very proud that it did happen. But that was probably one of the main reasons why, is because I really wanted to create leotards that dancers loved. Next question. Would you ever join the Royal Ballet again? That one's from Kirsty_Maitland. At this point, no, because I'm on a roll with something else and I'm doing what I'm genuinely passionate about now. So I probably wouldn't say that I would join the Royal Ballet again. You know, do I miss dancing and being on stage? Like, of course, there's elements that are, you know, to ballet and performing that I miss. But at the same time, I'm in the studio every single day creating new products and things. So I'm constantly like on the go, that I don't really have time to sit around and go, oh, I wish I could do this, wish I could join the Royal Ballet again. I don't really think about it, but I would have to say no to that at this point in my life. That's sort of not on the cards, definitely not. My next question is from Olivia Desi. When you took classes, what was something you always got corrected on? I remember when I was really young, about 13, I had huge issues with my posture. I was always leaning back, and I really feel like that no one ever told me how to fix it, because it was such an issue for like 3 years. So now sometimes you probably feel like this, dancers, but you can get told the same correction for years, but if no one shows you actually how to do it, you're never going to fix it. So this is another reason why I coach, because when I coach, I go into so much detail, so I know that the dancer knows what they've got to do, because it used to frustrate me so much as a dancer when I didn't know how to correct something. So I'm so happy that now, like when I see a dancer's face light up and they go, oh my God, like you fixed it, thank you so much. Like that's why I do what I do, because I want dancers to know how to fix things for themselves. So if they make the same mistake again, the correction is almost calculated so they know how to fix it. So I'd probably say leaning back was a really big one. Then I'd say something in the company I always used to get corrected on was artistry. So I really used to struggle expressing myself and having that artistic quality, and it's very hard to teach. So I was taught by one of the coaches, Monica Mason, but still, even from when I left the company, I still think it was something that I still struggled with. So artistry was probably something that I used to always get corrected on. Next question. It's from Georgie McKee. Do you have any tips on keeping your shoulders down? Yes, I do. I'm going to tell you one thing though that I think will help you keep your shoulders down. With shoulders, it's actually not them. It's actually coming from your back and from your lats, so the muscles just down here. So a lot of people think it's their shoulders, but if your back's quite weak, that'll be the reason why your shoulders lift. You have to strengthen your back before you can think about getting your shoulders down. And I've definitely on my channel, I think in one of my first ever videos, like how to master a triple turn, I talk about how you can hold your back correctly in that. So if you are struggling with it, then just check that out. What advice do you have for dealing with body issues for dancers? This is Addicted to Dance 13. This is a tough one because I never really struggled with this. There was one stage at the Royal Ballet School where I was told I had to tone up more, kind of like lose weight. So I did go through it a little bit, but not to an extreme point at all. It was only because I was 17 and probably, you know, I was growing and I was going through different hormones, and you know, our body changes, doesn't it? I think one thing you've got to remember, like dealing with body issues, Sometimes the best way to deal with it is to remember that when you step into the studio, if you focus constantly on looking in the mirror at your body, you're probably never ever going to see a difference. If you go into the studio and you focus on working correctly, working the right muscles, working really hard and making sure you're using the right muscles when you dance, you'll actually probably find that your body will sculpt to the right shape when you do that. So I feel like a lot of dancers do get hung up on the wrong things when they step into the studio. Perhaps if you are going through something like that for a month, maybe just focus on really working on sculpting your body correctly in class. And if that's not enough, you've got to find something outside of class that's going to do that. So I know when I had to kind of tone up a little bit, I started to take up CrossFit, and I was basically doing CrossFit constantly, and that worked for me. So I started to incorporate things into my schedule, and it meant that I had to create time for it as well. But I did that because I knew I had to do it if I wanted to be the right shape for a ballet dancer. So I would say that it comes down to finding what works for your body and doing it, like making sure you actually do it. And then when you get in the studio, you focus on your dancing, because you know if you do work correctly, naturally your body is going to have the right shape from using those correct muscles. So the next question is from Miss Lulu Dancer. How would you describe your experience during the creation process of Collections by Claudia, and what went into the photo shoot element of the process? Good question. So for me, the process of creating Collections by Claudia was seriously the most stressful thing that I have ever done in my life. Like, as I said in I think when I released my leotards, I briefly said it might seem really easy to create leotards, but it is seriously so hard. Like, it is very difficult because there's so many elements that you've got to think about. You've got to get the right cut to suit a wide variety of dancers. You've got to create swing tags, label tags, the photo shoot, marketing, making sure you've got the fabric, the lining, the makers organized with dates. Like, there's so many things that have to be scheduled in and thought about. And I have to say, in the time when I was creating those leotards, like, I'm always really busy with my coaching, but in that particular time I was so busy, so I actually couldn't invest as much time as I wanted to, but it meant that the whole process took a lot longer. So it took like about a year instead of probably taking about 6 months. But in saying that, when it all came to life, it was the most rewarding experience ever. And now I have an assistant, Bridget, that basically looks after all of that for me. So I obviously am still a massive part of the creation process. I have to be, because I'm the owner of the brand, but my assistant takes off. And actually I have two assistants. Lily, she also as well helps with that. They both really take off the load and make sure that I am not worrying about all like the nitty-gritty stuff. So, you know, I can leave tasks for Bridget, like, Bridget, I want you to create the whole photo shoot idea, and she'll present me with 2 different ideas and I pick which one I want to go with. So last year I didn't have anyone to do that, so I've put people in place to do that for me, to help me out, so that I can continue to create amazing products for you all while still doing my coaching. What was the other question? The photo shoot process. So during this process, it wasn't really stressful because there was a lot of prep work behind it. One of my other assistants, Simona, she helped prepare all that for me too at the time, because she was the only one working for me. I guess for that particular collection, it was a classic collection, so I wanted everything to be very clean cut, very simple but elegant. I didn't want any like background to distract what was going on with the leotard. So I guess for me that was a lot easier to create, like that particular line. But for our next lines, we're really going for themes. So I'm seriously so excited for the next theme. It's actually going to be amazing. We're trying to create different themes every collection that we launch, but the photo shoot is seriously the funnest day, and I always like to have a wide variety of dancers there. So I think last time I had 8 dancers, and I think for the next one we're going to have about 10 or 12, because I just love to have like loads of dancers there, and they're all having fun, and we put on music and we just eat and we take photos, and it's so much fun. So yeah, it's really an enjoyable day. The photo shoot process is probably the easy part. The actual creation of the leotards is very difficult. I was actually thinking of releasing a video that kind of went through the creation process of a leotard, so you all could see like what actually goes into creating a leotard. I think me and my assistant are going to try and do that, so definitely look out for that. So the next question is from Brianna Dancer 1, and it just says, how do you deal with the large competitive nature of the dance world and not become absorbed? That's a really good question, and I really like that. I would actually have to say that since starting what I do now, so Claudian coaching, I would say there's more negative things I hear about myself than what I did when I was actually dancing myself, which seems crazy. I think when other people can't be happy for what you're doing, and especially when you're helping dancers and helping everyone from around the world, I think if people can't see that and they have something negative to say, they're usually jealous. So I'm just going to keep doing what I'm doing and focus on me, because I know that that's what makes all of this happen. So yes, the dance world is very, very competitive. I understand that. But at the same time, I think it's your choice if you become absorbed into all the drama and all the negative comments and everything. Like, you know, on a day-to-day basis, I have people coming in here saying, oh, Claudia, you know, I heard this, someone said this about you. Or, you know, I just hear all these different things, okay? And I choose to not take that on. Like, I just say, oh, professional jealousy. Oh, you know what? They mustn't be happy that, you know, I did that and they couldn't do it or something. You know, like, just think that if you were to sit down and really focus on why people don't like other people, or why people say negative things about other people, like, just think about it for a second. It's always because those people have something that they don't have, and they're threatened or they feel jealous towards that. So if you hear a dancer say about you, oh, you know, she doesn't have very good feet, they're not that good, or even though they do have good feet, it's probably because they don't have good feet themselves and they're taking that out on someone else. Like, I think always in this world, for some reason, it's the human nature. Everyone's very competitive and they want to get ahead, but it's not by bringing other people down. That's not the way to get ahead. I, in this studio, literally, with every single like dance school, dance teacher, student out there, I only say positive because I know that that's the right thing to do. I'm not going to get ahead by saying about someone else something negative. That just won't work. It doesn't work. That's not the way life goes around. It works by saying something positive, and even if you don't like something that someone's doing, focus on their positives. Be the optimistic and just say to yourself, oh, maybe I don't like that, but look what they do so well. Like, they do that so well. Good on them. Like, I always do that because I know that's what you're meant to do. So yeah, I'm really like anti-negative. I don't buy into it. I'm just not about that because I'm seriously the most optimistic person. So it's the way I am. So I don't get absorbed in it. And I really recommend all of you do it because life's too short. It really is. Life's too short to worry about petty dramas and worry about what other people think of you. Yeah, it's just not what you should do. Especially when you know you're doing the right thing. Actually, if you know you're doing the right thing, you should never get absorbed in it, because if you are so genuine in what you do, who else do you have to please? No one. I know I'm so genuine. I know that my team is so genuine. Seriously, that's all I can do. So if you know as well that you're a genuine dancer, or even in another job, if you know what you're doing is real, just go with it. Seriously, just go with it. Okay, this question was from marina.onpoint. Who was your most influential teacher and why? I would definitely say Prue Bowen. So Prudence Bowen is actually a really well-known teacher, especially on the Australian dance scene. Basically, she's been around for a while, and she is the most phenomenal teacher I have ever come across, and I have been taught by a lot of people. So back when I was training with Miss Bowen when I was 15, she knew how to create a dancer, and I have to say a lot of what I do now and where I get this inspiration from is actually Miss Bowen. She really inspired me, not only as a dancer, but now as a coach. So I think that's really important that I can recognize that, because she's a very special lady. Now, this question is from Sophie_Lisa Jane, and she's asked, what are your goals for 2018? I love you and your videos so much. Love you too, Sophie. Thank you for being a supporter of mine. So my goals for 2018, definitely to release lots of collections for Collections by Claudia. We're really going to get the ball rolling on that. I have another project that we're doing is we're touring the Class with Claudia worldwide. So we're going to Sydney, Singapore this year, and so many more places next year. So that's another ongoing goal for me. And then last but not least, my goal for 2018 as well is just to be happy, healthy, devote more time to my family, friends, be a bit more balanced. Like, as I've mentioned a lot, really focus on work, and I guess I just want to try and have that balance a bit more. So that's probably another ongoing goal that I always have. I achieved one of my goals recently. Me and my partner bought a house, so we were really happy about that. So I guess I always have like these little short-term goals, but then, you know, there's also other goals in my personal life that I want to achieve, which are probably more important at the end of the day, that you're happy, healthy, spending time with your loved ones. So they would probably be my goals. Okay, now the last question is, what would be your biggest piece of advice for an aspiring dancer? My biggest piece of advice would be to be passionate. I've mentioned this word a lot, I feel, in my last video and also in this video, but I honestly believe that if you love what you do from head to toe and it just fills your world up with joy, you will succeed. If you love ballet and if you love what you do, then you'll get into the studio and you will work so hard and you'll want to improve and you'll want to be better because you love what you do. That would actually be my biggest piece of advice. You know, looking back on it now, like even for me as a dancer, I know I was like consumed with ballet, but I probably improved the most when I was about 15, 16. Because I was so obsessed with ballet, like it consumed me, like that's what I wanted to do. Then probably from like 17, 18, 19, 20, I might not have improved as much as I did in those earlier years, which is interesting for me, and I'm just talking really honestly now. It's interesting for me to look back on that because I was more obsessed then when I was 15, 16, and then probably not as obsessed. Then I ended up stopping dancing, and now I've like done a full circle because now I'm just so obsessed with what I do now that again it just consumes me. So that's why I can do all these amazing things, because I'm genuinely passionate about what I do. So I think for any dancer, or for even anyone that's not in a dancing profession, you could be a lawyer or a doctor, I really do believe that if you love what you do, then you can help people and you can be the best version of yourself. Trust me, you always want to be the best version of yourself. That's what you should always strive to be. So that would be my bit of advice for you all. And at the end of the day, if you work hard work is always recognized. So remember that. I think I'm going to wrap this up here because I feel like I've been chatting for years, but I love you all lots. I appreciate all of you so much. So thank you so much for being such a big supporter of my channel. I'm really excited to just get more real and raw with you all, not only about ballet, but also about personal things too. I think that's important that you can see all aspects of my life. So love you all lots, and comment below what your favorite question was. Bye.